FEMA is now sending a team to East Palestine, Ohio, and this comes more than 2 weeks after the train derailment threatened the small town. Governor Mike DeWine came under criticism for not requesting federal aid sooner, and then his office criticized FEMA over allegations FEMA was not stepping up to help. Meantime, there are new reports that former President Trump will be visiting East Palestine on Wednesday. Trump is expected to meet with community members, and now word that Erin Brockovich will also be in East Palestine for a town hall meeting. News Nation was the first network to speak with her after the disaster. The conditions are so bad that one woman who News Nation has been in contact with has rashes on her body after showering. Let's get to News Nation's Rich McHugh live on the ground in East Palestine, in which you spoke with a couple who's already having some negative health effects.
Hey, good evening, Natasha. That's right. So the first news is that the CEO of Norfolk Southern was here today, finally after 2 weeks, showed up, met with officials in this church behind me, closed door meetings, was escorted in and out by police, but was overheard telling someone he is here in support. The people we were speaking to don't buy it. For instance, they say that the health threat is real here, real time. One couple we spoke to went back to their house. We'd interviewed them earlier in the week. They went back to their house today for 30 minutes and had some crazy health effects. Take a look.
So we were in the kennel this morning, picking up some supplies. We left. I went home home. I went back to the place where we were being evacuated.
Caitlin Schwartzwelder and her boyfriend Chris, after being evacuated, came back home today. But she says she broke out in a rash almost instantly.
I undressed to get into the shower, and I had a rash all over the side of my face, on both sides, and all over my chest.
Take a look at these photos of her this morning after coming back on her property. The rash all over her face, neck, and chest.
My boyfriend Chris also had a rash down his left side, and I mean, to this moment, right now, I have just a really low-grade, constant headache.
They live nearly a mile from the derailment where Norfolk Southern released the toxins into the air 2 weeks ago. But their issues clearly persist. But with FEMA finally coming and with all the focus directed at East Palestine, these folks say they're forgotten because they live just over the state line in Pennsylvania.
It feels like nobody gives a damn beyond us.
They too were forced to evacuate.
And what if we couldn't afford to do any of this?
My wife is 37 weeks pregnant this Friday, and she's going to be induced. And it's all a little scary because we can't drink the water, unable to get our water tested because we're not a priority as of now. So don't know what my newborn son is going to come home to.
John and Julie Kent fear the future of their horse sanctuary could be in jeopardy.
There was flames roughly a couple hundred feet into the sky. There was a black smoke cloud, and it was going over the horses. I would say that it was probably like no more than 10 feet above their head.
In the photos, you can see the toxic smoke flowing over their horses. They worry if they'll survive.
The horses and myself and anybody that was here really in this general vicinity was exposed.
And while the governor of Ohio and others have said repeatedly the air and water is safe, it's clear that some of the toxins have taken hold. A couple miles outside of town, this is Leslie Run. I've heard this is happening. I didn't quite believe it, but watch this. So when you stick this stick in the water, all the chemicals come to the surface in like rainbows. It's quite alarming. News Nation has asked Norfolk Southern CEO for an interview repeatedly, and we've sent a producer to their headquarters with no luck. How does this whole experience feel for you?
That money matters more than humanity. Truly.
Now, the police presence here has already stepped up just in the past 24 hours. FEMA is apparently going to be here tomorrow. Trump is coming midweek. So clearly things are ratcheting up. Natasha, back.
Shalom, Kahala, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Waha, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to Yakim pushing his word and truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. This is not going to stop. You see the Ohio train derailment that happened is only going to get worse. Now, what they're saying has happened in the East Palestine, Ohio area, these fumes of this toxic or hazardous waste is getting into the water. It's getting into the air. All these things. Now, you think this is going to be cleared up within a day or two? No. As you say, they have people that's having rashes and different things. Some are saying that it could be worse than what Esau's media is letting you to believe. But you think that things are going to get better right now? No. This man, who is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he uses things like this to help bring forth death. Not saying, hey, if it was something that was like I said, incident, we know through the spirit it is all of through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, all through the spirit of the Lord. But Esau never lets any type of destruction or thing, something like this, go to waste. All right. But like I say, we know it's all through the Lord. And death and destruction is coming upon Babylon the Great, aka America. All right, so it's not going to be a lot of enjoyment. People still trying to run around with the mirth and excitement that's going around and want to party all the time. All this is coming to a close. This is 2nd Ezra 11 and verse 44. It says, "The highest also has looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled." So these proud times are coming to an end. All right. That's why I said in Ephesians 5 that we should walk circumspectly because these days are evil. Bad times. That's what evil goes into. All right. Eve going into time. All right. Evil go into bad. Evil. Bad times. And this is only just like you say a minute thing that's going to happen on a major. It's going to be on a major scale in due time. Like with this, like I said, it could be something that's going to cause effects over a period of time due to all these chemicals, fumes getting into the air. As you just showed, he used the stick and show how the water got those different rainbow colors and all those chemicals are in there. 2nd Ezra 15 and 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. The sword is what's going to happen with people coming around, shooting, killing, robbing. Then war is going to pop off. All right. All these things that are coming about. And we got another video here. We're going to go ahead and play it.
Now, breaking news along the Turkish-Syrian border. We told you last hour that there was a magnitude 6.3 earthquake, brought down buildings, sparked panic in that same area that was devastated by that massive earthquake 2 weeks ago. Today's quake was reportedly felt as far away as Israel and Egypt. It was followed by an aftershock. That was a big one, too, measuring 5.8. We just got new video showing people out in the streets trying to get to open areas away from buildings, along with reports of people being trapped inside buildings. Syrian media and Turkish officials are reporting several injuries, but so far we don't have any word of deaths connected to this newest earthquake. We will keep you posted.
Hey, and like I say, these earthquakes that's happening bringing down buildings the last couple of weeks, it's been what? Thousands, okay, of people that have died from these earthquakes. Hey, the Lord is not playing right now. All these things that are happening is through, like I say, the Spirit of the Lord. All right. This is Matthew 24, verse 7. It say, "For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom." And we are hearing those rumors of wars that's coming about. All right. You got the balloon that just got shot down. They said it was like some type of Chinese intelligence balloon that got shot down here in America. And then all the UFO sightings, they said they're shooting down. No. You know, if it's a chariot, they're not shooting it down. Esau is a big ass liar. All right. He's a forger of lies, right? A physician of no value. If you don't have no value, that means you're not gonna increase anything. So if you're not increasing in life and you're decreasing in life, what does that bring it forth? Death. That's why he's the red horse, as it reads about in Revelation 6. And this is what's coming, like I said, upon the earth. Where all this, the train derailments that's causing more and more adverse from to life. Because, like I say, people getting rashes. No matter what no telling what the long term is about to happen upon these people that's having these problems. Hey, the Lord is trying to wake people up now, and it's not going to be everybody. And He's going to keep, like I say, a mass majority blinded, but the elect see these things. And here at GMS, we're going to talk about it because what we're supposed to be doing in the spirit of prophecy, spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. All these earthquakes that's happening, all right? Wars being talked about is about to spring up. Matthew 24:7, for nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrow. So all these things that we're seeing is happening is just the beginning. And like I say, with these earthquakes, the one that happened, not this one, but the one that happened prior, what it was, I think the numbers got up to almost 50,000, 30 to 50,000 people they showed that had died from that big major earthquake that just occurred. Right?
10, the heart of a community is left to rebuild tonight after this massive fire. 40,000 pounds of food meant to feed people in a food desert near Maricopa, south of the valley, is completely gone. And tonight, investigators are still trying to figure out what caused the fire.
Team 12's Adriana Loya learns that the owners of the Maricopa Food Pantry aren't going to let this fire keep them from feeding those who need a helping hand.
The biggest thing is if you're hungry, come.
For 18 years, Jim Shove and his wife have run the Maricopa Food Pantry.
The remains of most of my trailers are back there.
But what they long worked to achieve, now gone. A massive fire erupting Monday afternoon, black smoke filling the air as 6 semis filled with about 40,000 pounds of food and a 40-foot truck with storage equipment destroyed.
I'd only been gone like 20 minutes.
The fire breaking out shortly after members of the Mountain View Community Church had finished distributing food. 4 fire departments arriving on scene, but the flames too intense.
Every trailer that was here was getting ready for this weekend, so everything was loaded with diesel, and once it started on fire, it was just not able to put it out.
And strong winds fueled the massive blaze. Thankfully, the church, which is feet away from the fiery trailers, was not damaged.
Those propane tanks, that's what we run the forklifts on. And they got hot enough that they blew out of the Connex, came over here and hit. We had pallets up here like a big giant table and caught that on fire.
A preliminary investigation suggests the fire started after an animal went under one of the refrigerated trucks and got into the wires.
This is what's left of it.
Despite the tragic loss,
but I'm going to rebuild.
Jim looking to provide for his community now more than ever, hoping to build a warehouse for the pantry, but also a clothing bank and soup kitchen.
We lost almost everything, but we still have something to go forward to. And if we didn't have anything, we still have the people that have a need. It's going to be great. It's going to take a while.
Adriana Loya.
But I'm hoping to be up and running within the next few weeks.
Hey, they believe and have faith that things are going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right for the elect of Israel. The rest of the world that's coming about, this is going to be death and destruction. Things are about to happen that has not been done on the earth. And you see here, hey, this is just a small thing. It's been over 60 plants that have food plants that have been destroyed. Ezekiel 4 and 16, it said, moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem. All right. And Jerusalem is the people for as a place. So you so-called niggas, blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, you gotta, wake up. The Lord is finna start bringing a famine. Next month, what's gonna happen? They're going to be basically cutting a lot of those the food assistance. You know what I'm saying? The food assistance. They probably ain't gonna cut it completely out, but somebody that probably receives $800 to $1,000 on food stamps and things like that, they might just be getting $100 or $200. That's a big difference. So the Lord is, and then all these food plants. So the rise of food is going to go up, and then Esau is taking away your benefits where you're going to be receiving as much help, and that's going to have what you unable to purchase bread. You know what I'm saying? It says, "Son of man." Moreover, he says, "Son of man, I will break the bread of staff in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care." So you're going to be basically saying, hey, we got this amount. We got to probably eat 2 or 3 scoops and wait for tomorrow. Because here in America, it's careless of food eating and things like that. It's just carelessness. You have restaurants that when they won't even give the food to homeless or the poor. They'll get through, and when there's some left, what do? They throw a lot of food away every night. Now it's get to a point where they're gonna have people busting in these food places trying to take the food because they won't be able to afford it. So what is gonna bring out? The military. Then you try to go in there and break in, you're gonna get your head busted or get your head blown off. Then it's gonna get worse than that. You won't be able to just go to the store all willy-nilly, buy what you want, come back home and hey family, here you go. You're gonna have to sneak to get to the store, and then when you can have vultures. These people that's gonna be vultures scoping out who's buying what because they can't afford food for their family. And then when you buy food, they're gonna be waiting for you to try to go back home, and they're gonna basically rob you. So you're gonna have to sneak in and sneak out. Your family will be waiting for your daddy to go out and get some food, but daddy then they're gonna be waiting, thinking he's supposed to be back in about 30 minutes, and it's gonna end up being a day or two, 3 days, 4 days, a week. Daddy might be put to death and thrown in the ditch. Hey, this is a serious, serious time that we're in. The Lord is, like it says, go back and read this again. All right. This is Ezekiel 4:16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. And as we saw earlier with the train derailment, hey, a lot of the water might be contaminated. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the water is going to become contaminated. You're going to have to try to be drinking bottled water, and it's going to be very few. You'll have probably the military trying to ration it out. All that's going to lead to what? Something that Esau is going to present to you that you can buy and sell for you to eat. And that's going to end up being what? The MOT to the B. All right? Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Yes, it's going to be something that they're going to look to insert in you. Because Esau wants to be your God. All this is happening right now is just the beginning of sorrows. Wake your ass up. All right? Let me get one more here. All right? This is back in Matthew 24. And all these things that we're seeing, when you read 2nd Ezra 15, 2nd Ezra 16, Matthew 24, all right? All this is showing the times where it's going to get real bad. And hey, you're not going to hear this from a Christian pastor. All right? Matthew 24:37, it say, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. All right? Because you had 2 deaths. All right? The first death was by water, and the second death is coming by what? It's coming by fire. All right? Used to be an old song that said, you won't be water but fire next time. Right? So let me go ahead and finish this here. This is back in Matthew 24. All right. And 37. But in the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving into marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. All right. Now we know that Noah was out here prophesying and preaching for about 120 years. You probably did have people that was listening to him at one point, but then it got to a point they were like, "Oh, it's been 10 years, it's been 20 years, 30 years." No, and you building this big ass boat. I mean, they probably know what a boat like. Well, they probably like to say, "You building this big ass thing. What is this gonna be?" You know what the hell would you know? Like, damn, that dude fell off the rock, and now he got his family just going around and just people looking at the whole family crazy now. All right, so they kept on partying, eating, drinking, marrying, giving into marriage. You know, like today, all these events that are occurring, people just going around partying, eating, drinking, not even thinking about the Lord. Let's keep going. Verse 39, all right? It said, well, let me go back to verse 38 at the end. It said, until the day Noah entered into the ark and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. And so shall this coming of the Son of Man be. Because that's that two deaths, right? That's those two deaths, all right? That's Revelations 20, 20 and 14, all right? Where it says, in the death, and death and hell be shown thrown in the lake of fire. This is the second death. Revelations, I think 21, where it says it's going to be idolaters, liars. Matter of fact, I don't want to jack it up. This is Revelations 21 and verse 8. You know what? That's pull it up here. It's lock here. Revelations 21 and verse 8. It says, but the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. All right. So all this that's coming is going to be death for all the people on the earth. We just read Matthew 24 that it was going to be take all away, right? All of them that did not hear, it wasn't hearken, all of them going to be taken away. Let me jump back in Matthew 24 and 40. It said, then shall two be in a field, and one shall be taken, and the other left. The two women shall be grinding at the mill, and the one shall be taken, and the other left. Watch therefore, okay? Watch. And that's what we're the watchmen, right? We're the watchmen of the Lord, right? It tells you about that. In Jeremiah, he said, set watchmen, okay? That basically that's going to hearken to the sound of the trumpet, roughly paraphrasing. All right, so he said, watch. So going back to this, it says, watch this verse 42, Matthew 24 and 42. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour the Lord do come. So we don't know when the Lord, right? We don't know when he's going to come. But one thing we can say, we see the signs. The Lord said, measure the time diligent in itself. All right. Watch and pray. We're looking for the signs and the wonders, and we're seeing them. Hey, you got to get prepared. Because we are here in those times where things are not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. So with that, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Waha, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the great millstone. Peace and blessings to Yakin pushing his word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.